First of all, let's get into tattoo sessions, tattoo costs, tattoo cover ups, and most importantly, how did you step into the tattoo game?
How did I step into the tattoo game? I definitely didn't go in it. I wasn't like a little kid, like, oh, I'm gonna grow up to be a tattoo artist. Nothing like that, you know. But I think I fell into it, man. I just it found me kind of thing. I was hanging around people, and I needed some direction and stuff like that. I needed something to keep me busy, and like I was passionate about it. I loved doing it, and I fucking went hard in it. I put in the work, and then eventually it started to make me money, and I got to do something I love for a living. It was a beautiful thing, you know.
It's a beautiful thing. Did the you think the money had a big part of the attraction, or was it more so the art?
I don't think I would have gone as hard in the beginning if I didn't think the money was gonna like. I don't want to go my life broke, a struggling, starving
For
artist. You know
sure.
what I mean?
I don't think
Obviously, it's
nobody
got to.
anybody does, right?
I don't think anybody does. I think it's got to be enough to support yourself and your family. But yeah, man, like I still love it. I think, and I do actually. I've tattooed so many times for free. Even now, like recently, like I'll tattoo like for the love of it, you know. Um, and I think that now that I'm deep into it, if I had to and prices got slashed in half, I'd still do it 100%.
Prices getting slashed half. What is the average cost of a tattoo hourly rate?
Um, Everybody differs, man. The hourly rates, I'd say like the average would probably be between like 180, $200 an hour, something like that. But there's people that are 300 an hour, 250 an hour, whatever. That's usually you have some skill when you're up like that. But um, yeah, man, like, and there's people doing day rates too. Like day rates, just pay me for the day, and we'll just do our thing or whatever. I don't do that personally, but
Why not?
um, I don't do day rate because I just I like to keep it easy, man. I like to keep it easy. Like as long as I'm tattooing you, that's the price per hour.
Right.
I'll even cut it into a half hour if we go. You know what I mean? Like I've noticed that, or I've heard that artists will charge, for the day rate, and like a lot of times they won't get the full amount of hours of tattooing out of it, or like they'll go
Okay.
way over the hours they're supposed to work, and it's just vice versa. Like either or, somebody's getting kind of screwed one way or the other. You know what I mean? I feel like hourly rate, no one's getting fucked over. Like same reason I don't do piece price on anything. I don't do tattoo by the piece because like I'm a tattoo artist and that's what I'm good at. I'm not a fucking mathematician.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not some rain man that can be like, that's going to take, you know, 13 and a
Calculate
half
it.
hours. That'll
Right.
be,
Down to the second
and
of a
then like
minute
it goes over that and I get fucked over, or it
because you
goes under
quoted.
that and you get fucked over,
Right.
right? So why do I have to play that game and the guessing game? Like, let's just do it fucking hourly rate. You pay for what I work, and that's it.
Yeah.
My job isn't to be some math guessing wizard, Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not
No.
playing that shit,
For sure, I understand.
you know?
Um, just to slow it down a minute, uh, let's try and keep it PG-13 for the kids out there watching it.
I'll be cursing, yeah, I'll be swearing a lot when I get loose,
That's
man,
okay.
with the boys,
We're,
right?
we're we're comfortable, right? I mean,
Trying to work on that.
that's okay. We ain't got no issues with that.
We have to beat them out.
We will beat them out. Beat them out. Beat them out.
You have to beat them out of me.
Yeah, man. So I mean, so to my experience, we've been, you know, we've known each other for a little bit now. Um, you are attacking cover ups lately.
Yeah, dude, I love doing cover ups. It's dope. Like
Educate me on the process of a cover up.
the process. Yeah.
Of a start to finish.
Am I still good if I I'm talking this way with the mic over
Yeah,
there.
it looks good.
Still good?
Yeah, we good. We good. Don't worry.
Yeah,
We
we
good.
good?
We
Okay.
good. We always good, even when we bad.
Um, yeah, cover ups are tricky, man, because you don't have the freedom to do everything you want.
Why not?
Like
Because you're
the
restricted.
whole point, you're restricted, right? The whole point, it's a magic trick. You're trying to disguise the tattoo that you're trying to cover with a new one. So you gotta place it in the perfect spot so that it's not just a black blob. It's
Right.
got some flow. It still shows
Right.
some skin, but in the darkness of that tattoo, wherever it may be, is going to be the one piece that covers what's underneath.
Okay.
So not every design you can put over it is going to do that for you, right? You're going to have to look at each thing's different. You're going to have to look at how big is the tattoo you're covering. You're usually going to want to go like at least 3 times bigger than that.
Right.
um
Contrast is important.
Contrast is important, and like in fresh skin, like the rule of we use the rule of three is what I like to go by, is a third skin, a third black, and a third like midtones, right?
Okay.
Nice even bunch.
Educate me on midtone and everything.
Yeah, like, well, tattoos, usually using different tones of black, right? So you'll use like a solid black and then different variations of watered down black.
And I guess I'm assuming it differs on skin color.
Yeah, so when you're tattooing different skin colors, like darker skin colors, you kind of want to skip a lot of the midtones. You want to just go super high contrast, meaning like a lot of heavy black and a lot of open skin. But when you have like a super pale white skin,
Excuse me.
you can get a lot more tones in there and do a lot more blending and a lot more really light shades.
Yeah.
But even regardless, like the way that I tattoo, I like to leave a lot of open skin, even if they have dark or light skin. I just feel like it pops that much more. You know what I mean? Like that negative skin like grabs the attention it's in the right place, and it's got that like solid black, the
Right.
midtones as well, but a lot of open skin.
Right.
That open skin kind of speaks louder than the black sometimes if you position it properly, right? Like, have you ever seen like a negative script in a fucking tattoo where it's like bubble letter type, like graffiti letter style, where but it's like just the skin, and it looks like it was almost spray painted and like just the skin left open, right?
Yeah.
That shit is louder than any of the black going on in the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just bow,
Yeah.
it's right there, so
Yeah. I understand.
that same concept when I'm tattooing at all, like with anything, I try to keep you know equal parts.
Understood. Um, Moving forward, I just wanted to ask if you are into doing new fresh tattoos or more doing cover ups. Like I know a lot of people like fresh skin, right?
A lot of people like fresh skin. A lot of artists won't touch other people's work. They
Right.
won't like they don't really play with cover ups too much, or they
And that's
they
just
won't
been
even tattoo around another art. Like if another artist started a sleeve, they won't even touch it. They
Finish it.
won't finish it.
Yeah,
And then
I've had that.
these people are stuck, like, a lot of the times it's the artist moved away or whatever may be the reason, but now they're stuck, right? They want to get this thing fixed. They're going to be stuck for the rest of their life unless
Right.
someone helps them. And like,
Yeah.
I'm usually down to be that guy because myself, I started a sleeve, the artist, and they had to leave town, whatever.
Right.
And I was stuck with the sleeve. I had to go find somebody to help me out. So
And
I
you
know
found
how
someone.
it feels. I found someone and I know how it feels.
Yeah.
And I actually find like I like it to help somebody with something that like it bothers them way more.
Course,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like so much more meaningful for them to get like fixed up rather than just get a new tattoo,
100%.
because that shit's been on their mind. You know what I mean? It's been like bothering them.
It can be traumatizing almost.
It's horrible. Like, or like to
Yeah.
get something they hate so much on their body and to get it covered up finally, and not only just get it covered and blasted over black, like to get it like it was never there, and to get a sick piece that they actually love over top of it. That's the fucking best feeling. It's way better than a brand new tattoo. Like, yeah, sure, it's nice for my portfolio, but like for the client, like, bro, it's life changing for them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like
Hundred
I've had
percent.
cover ups that I hated as well, and it was awesome when it finally goes away.
Have
Um,
you personally got any cover ups?
yeah, bro, my first tattoo I got covered up. I got tattooed when I was like 18, and I got chewed up, harsh fucking
Where was the placement?
the place on my arm.
Oh, your arm.
Yeah, on my arm, and it was like just some line work, but the guy just carved me up bad. It was in like in the crib with like the homies. We're all just chilling. We're all young and
Classic.
classic. Yeah, don't do that at home. And yeah, so we got fixed up. We went to an actual reputable shop and spoke with a real artist and paid the fee and got like something dope, right? And we
Right.
got finished up and we got actually proper, right?
Do you think a young Forte getting a tattoo at that age was ever thinking about himself becoming an artist one day?
I don't think I was ever thinking about being an
Never
artist one
crossed your
day.
mind? Not even a little bit?
I think that nowadays I think that most people think it's more attainable now. I think that in the past, before the days of the iPads and the um you know, the tattoo pens,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was so much harder to understand and come up in the game and like actually have somebody. You'd actually have to have someone teach you. There wasn't YouTube to tell you everything, walk you through it.
Right, right.
You actually had to learn an original coil tattoo machine, learn how to build the freaking thing,
Times have
actually
changed,
learn
right?
how to draw on paper and
Right.
like repetitively draw till your hand bleeds. Like, you know what I mean? Nowadays it's so easy, and that it's like
Yeah.
it's more in a lot of people's reach. Tattoos are also much more popular,
Yeah, definitely.
and people are popping out of the woodwork
I
to
think there's
to jump into it, and good for them that they're trying something out. Like, I don't hate on anybody trying it out. Like, I think it's funny when a tattoo artist gets into the game, they've been in it for a couple of years, and they're like, okay, but now I want the door to close behind me. Like, I'm gonna get in now, but now nobody else can. And they're pissed when other people are starting to do
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah,
that was me 6 years ago. I
yeah,
just got in.
yeah,
I'm sure there must be some haters and be
yeah, of
like, these
course.
punk kids are trying to get in now.
Yeah,
And like, I'm not gonna do that to people
for
that are
sure.
trying to come up, you know,
Yeah,
like, because it's a beautiful thing that changed my life. It's something I'm passionate about.
right,
It's something that, like, you know, my whole life revolves around it. It feeds my
right.
family.
Yeah,
It's an awesome thing. It's made me a lot of friends, and lifelong like relationships,
opened
right?
up a lot of doors as well.
Opened up a lot of
For
doors.
sure.
Like, I've done some traveling with it. It's awesome, man.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
great thing. So
It's a beautiful thing,
it's a beautiful thing. But I
for
think
sure.
that people that want to come into the industry, they should show it the respect it deserves, because it is, you know, providing for my family, and it is like putting bread on the
Of
table,
course,
and giving me a beautiful life. You know what I mean? So like, I want to show it the respect it deserves. You know?
100%. I think the real ones give the respect it deserves because they understand the the cultural appreciation behind it, the traditions that go behind tattooing. Right. A lot of people
Right.
kind of get it misconfused. Um, but uh, growing up, I personally used to watch a lot of those like TV shows, those the Ink
Don't
Masters
say
and
it.
whatnot.
Don't say it.
What do you mean? Don't say
The
it.
Ink Masters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
yeah.
Ink Masters, and those were just I think entertaining for me personally. Like I had a few tattoos, and I never really like dug in deep into it like that. Um, but were you ever into watching any of those growing up? Like, did that stuff ever
Not really. No.
catch your eye? No.
I think that I've seen a lot of artists online and stuff really hating on Ink Master, because that's one of the things that kind of paved the way to making it more mainstream.
For real. Well, I
And
think it's a lot more socially acceptable now because of shows like that,
it could be
right?
that, partly because of that as well.
There's
Yeah.
pros and cons to
And
everything,
social
right? Like
media
people
in
are gonna flip
general.
it no matter what,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, people are gonna be mad no matter what. The one thing that I am pretty choked about, though, I just saw this. A couple people sent me this the other day. Is like this guy was on the Dragons. What is it?
Dragon's Den,
Dragons Den,
yeah,
or
for
the
sure.
other one? There's the other one. There's
Um,
the
Shark
one's
Tank,
American Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, yeah.
And he was bringing on this machine. It's like a tattooing machine where it's pretty much a tattooing
Yeah,
robot, and you
right.
stick your arm in, and it's like
Oh no, like a 3D
micro
printer.
perfection little tattoos that
Crazy.
like they're just pumping out little guys.
Yeah.
But
Microrealisms.
this guy's a straight nerd, bro, and like doesn't have a tattoo at all, for sure not. And he's just like so proud that he's just taking all these jobs. You know what I mean? Like just to put his make his pockets fat.
You
Like
gotta be careful.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just trying to wipe out a whole culture
Yeah, that's
with his
crazy.
little machine. And
yeah.
like he's trying to say, he was justifying, he's like, actually I think that we're going to be giving artists a big pathway into selling their designs, and then you know, kind of making it worldwide, where they
Right.
can make like passive income by selling their designs like over and over and over
There's
again
a
or
lot of
whatever.
copycatters though, right?
But
People are gonna
yo,
steal
like there's
designs. Like,
AI now. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
AI is gonna make these designs. You're just there's no way of justifying it. You
I
know,
think the art behind a lot of things are being taken. You know, with
the AI is taking art from artists.
Yeah.
Where are they getting it from? They're getting it from actual people,
yeah.
taking it and then ripping it up and doing their own thing with it. But
AI's taking over, brother.
it's creepy, bro. It's scary,
super,
man.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary
I
society. we're
do
starting
I
to live
do
in.
like to use AI when I'm tattooing, when
Right.
I'm looking for references. They make great references.
I think AI makes great receptionists, but
And it does a lot of cool things, but
yeah,
almost
for
we should
sure.
max it off, like cap it at a certain point.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because bro, like you're gonna
Mm.
keep giving it more and more power, it's gonna take more and more jobs. Like at some
Yeah.
point it's not good, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's gotta serve us and not try to take over
from
for
us.
us, take from us. Yeah.
It's got to add value rather than steal value from our lives, right?
It's got to. And
That's
I feel
crazy.
like that should be against the law, bro,
Yeah, no
to
doubt.
really take value from people. They should almost pass a law on that. Like, where's Trump at? He's passing all these laws. Like, let's pass one on that. You know what I
Let's
mean?
not get monetized over here talking about government and what they should be doing for us and what they shouldn't be doing. But definitely, AI is out here fucking shit up, big time.
It's great too. Like, it's making a lot of people paper if they know how to use it, which is cool. But I'm just dipping my toe. I'm like playing a little bit with it.
Right,
but
right.
I'm not a computer guy, right? But
Personally, I think if you are already smart, educated when it comes to like this whole computer game and whatnot, um, AI is kind of like a steroid to it, right? But if you're kind of clueless and you try and get into it, it's just gonna help you out like bare minimum, right?
yeah,
It only helps even if you're already smart. So, I mean,
you got to know how to use it, right?
yeah, for sure.
You got to ask the
anything,
right questions.
like anything, 100%. I mean, that's my opinion when it comes to this whole AI thing. It's definitely a scary thing. Definitely, society is getting taken over. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah, bro. That Chat GPT is pretty cool, though. You know what I mean? Like
That's very helpful.
It's very that's
Yeah.
more of a helpful one. I feel like
Yeah.
that one right there is like really helping people build brands, build like, awareness of how to go
Of course,
about
yeah.
accomplishing their goals.
Yeah.
Like branding's important, bro. You can type in, like, hey, like how do I build a brand for this specific
100%.
niche, and it'll
Yeah.
just shoot it out, which is amazing, right?
Well, I think it's just I don't even know what word to use to pinpoint what I'm thinking, but I remember our time growing up, right? Like we're '90s babies, late '80s is like, fuck, we didn't have this resource. Like,
No, man.
when we
it's
wanted to do
crazy.
something, if mistake me if I'm wrong, like, correct me if I'm wrong. We used to have to go into the public library
Before the internet,
to
yeah,
even
yeah.
like try and look something up. And how the heck did we know what to type in? Like, how we didn't know about Google and Yahoo and
Yeah,
all these other search engines that
I remember them teaching about us in school, actually.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, we're gonna use Ask Jeeves and shit.
Yeah,
Is that
Ask
even
Jeeves,
still
holy
around or
smokes.
what?
Yeah, it does, man. AskJeeves.com.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, the internet's come a long way, definitely. But I mean, growing up, I was super tech savvy, and I didn't think I would have troubles with it today. And sometimes
Right.
I just look at things and I'm like, yo, I can't even figure this out, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yo, actually, because I was just thinking, I was saying something about brands, and I actually wanted
Yeah.
to say this, because building a brand is so important for any business you're in, like
course,
it is
yeah.
for myself for tattooing as well. And like,
right.
I don't say brand as in like, fucking I'm some sort of special thing. Like I'm a brand. It kind of sounds like a douchey thing to say,
Right.
but a brand is anything, just how you carry yourself, how you present yourself,
Yeah.
like to the public or online, or
100%.
how you do your business, how
Well
you
said.
handle yourself,
Well
right?
said, yeah.
And Yeah, man. Like nowadays, if you're just gonna be shy and you're gonna hide behind the camera, it's a day and age where you have to kind of,
Be out there.
get out there and support yourself
Your
more than anybody,
face,
right?
your face is your brand, right?
You got to show your face,
Yeah,
bro.
hundred
Because if you're
percent.
just you can't just be a faceless artist out here.
No, no.
There's no hustle in that.
People
It
want to know
needs,
who's behind everything,
bro.
right?
Scared money don't make no money.
100%.
You know what I
Jeezy
mean?
told you back in 09.
Yeah. So you got to I think you got to like that's why I'm out here, bro. I'm out
That's
here
why we
getting
out here.
we're getting in front of the camera, we're doing the
100%.
thing, we're
Yeah.
talking shit and like we're going to attract the people that are supposed to be with us.
Of course, 100%.
We're just going to be ourselves,
Yeah.
and that's all it is, bro. That's all your brand really is. Just be yourself, your authentic self,
100%.
bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty
And
much it.
yeah, man, I thought of that and like
I think brands are more of a movement, right? The way you have to look at a brand is, at least from my perspective, the way I kind of built Apostolos was more of what I stand for, right? Like, and that's all it was.
right.
Right.
That feels personal to you actually, because a lot of your stuff
100%.
I've seen, it has like kind of some heritage behind it and
Yeah.
like some stuff.
It's just
Right?
morals and values that I grew up on, right? That stuck with me for 33 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people's out here building brands just to make money. I'm here building authenticity, right? I'm trying to build a movement.
It's important, bro. And I think people can
Yeah.
see the difference. If people think that you're faking, they can tell, and it's never gonna
1000%.
do as well. You know what I mean?
Energy, aura,
Yeah.
all this plays very well into people's intuitive, where they can feel when someone's being fugazi.
They
You know
got
what
a
I mean?
bullshit a meter, you know?
Yeah.
They can tell for sure.
And my bullshit meter's at an all-time high.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I pick up off energy like with the quickness. So
Right.
sometimes I just play dumb, and I let you think like, yeah.
Yeah,
know what I
we're
mean?
cool, but then I'm not
Yeah.
fucking with you after. Yeah.
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 I don't want to escalate issues. If you got some wild guy in the group, just keep it moving.
Yeah, no, you don't always gotta tell people how you feel. I think that's crazy, man. Like just keep it to yourself. If you're moving properly, you're taking it all in, you're observing, and you're just gonna do what you're gonna do. You
Yeah.
don't have to just always tell. Like some people are so opinionated, bro. They want to argue with people on the internet in the comment section, bro. I always shoot to the comment section when I see some funny stuff, right?
For sure.
And I'm reading and I'm like bored. I'm like scrolling deep and I'm like reading these argument between these two strangers, bro.
Right.
And it's going like 20 messages back and forth, and they're like getting like so point Dexter over it. Like actually, technically, no.
So,
It's like, yo, you typed all that? Like I can't even type a fucking sentence without being like, okay, I'll delete it. I don't want to keep going. This is annoying.
So I'm not too sure if you're referring to me personally, but you can catch me in the comments.
You like that?
Going
you fuck
head
with
to head
people in the
with
comment? You going ahead?
I just think it's funny because like I get a kick out of it, right?
I've never
like,
seen your name pop up because you can see people
you're
know.
the only one that said that to me. Sometimes I have homies messaging me and be like, "Yo, you are crazy."
And you kill them or what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it's funny. Like I laugh while I do it, and then sometimes I'm just like, okay, enough is enough, right?
Yeah,
But,
I don't have the energy for that shit.
I'll
think like you're an idiot, but I won't type it because it's just too much. I'm just gonna keep scrolling.
No, and that's my attitude 90% of the time. Like I don't got
Yeah.
time for it. But if you catch me, I got time today.
Right.
Right. Like
Because some people you won't even. There's no point in saying anything because you're not going to change their mind.
Hell no.
They won't even think they're
Hell
wrong. They won't even they won't feel like an idiot. Like you think you made them look like an idiot. They
There's
don't
a lot
feel
of
like
self-centered
that.
people out there. Right?
They're
Especially
just
on
like,
the internet.
yeah, right, buddy. Like
and
you're not
honestly,
going to win
like,
with anything like that, you know?
Like I'll see someone's silly comment, and I won't attack them per se, but I'll put them in their place, and then they'll hop on my IG and they'll like, I don't have a backup account. Like I have my picture on there, and you know me,
yeah.
I'm not.
The trolls
I'm
have
not,
no pictures.
I'm not like I'm not 200 plus pounds. Like I'm my heavyweight. Maybe I was 200 pounds back a couple of years ago. People messaging me being like, "You fat fuck!" Like
what?
I'm just like, yeah, and I'm just like, for real, like that was your best shot. Like
that's all they could think to say.
You creep my IG and you saw my photos and you thought this guy's a fat fuck. Like
I would never think that.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, are you for real? Like you clearly don't know me. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I take it as a compliment. I was like, okay, thank you. Like I appreciate
couldn't think
it.
of
Like,
nothing else to say.
I was like, hey, my money belly. Like money belly, like
getting thick and rich out here.
Thick and rich, yeah. Like, oh, you think your money belly's a flex? And I was like, oh, here we go, baby. Like, okay, let's get into it. Let me explain to you why I think the money belly is a flex. Okay.
Yeah. We're eating well out here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but You know.
You've been rolling that joint for a minute, brother.
Oh, so no, there's no
Oh, is
minute,
that two?
brother.
You got two.
No, it's some tobacco. You know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, tobacco with a little bit of spliff. Though we're not gonna lie, you just keep it.
Bro, because speaking of, like, you used to build brand, like, you built that brand,
Yeah,
and you were, like, working on other, I've seen you work on other brands back in the day, like behind the scenes, but you were
for
with, like,
sure.
different crews doing different things, like, when we were younger.
Don't get it wrong. We're not a switch sider. We're on
Uh,
one gang.
no, but
We're on
you like
one
to get
team.
involved with
Of
shit,
course, yeah.
and you're hands on, and, like, you know how to work it and everything.
Right.
So, like, um, what's the one thing nobody tells you about building a brand?
You gotta have some loyal ass people around you, bro. A lot of snakes. A lot of people will try and be around just to soak up game, and they kind of you can't get your agenda to the whole team. You got to keep it like private, and you got to act on it. That's a good question, but
Not even to the team, but you can't speak on things, like, even you and me have been recently speaking about things, but I'm not about to say it here. I'm
no,
not about to say it to
no.
nobody until it becomes a thing. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I've learned, through years, when you speak it into existence, not only do you mentally tell your brain you've already completed it or you've already kind of achieved that, right? Um, it's better to just keep shit within
Yeah.
and then act on it and then put it out there in the universe. I mean, uh, meditation and affirmation, that's a whole different topic. But a lot of things, like, you got to keep it personal, right? Until you actually take it off. But
You ever made mistakes in that area?
oh yeah,
You learn
so
lessons like that?
yeah, I've learned life's humbled me hard in many different ways. Growing up, I thought everyone was your friend, right? I thought everyone wanted to see you succeed,
That's real,
right?
man. Yeah.
Little did I know, I just had a bunch of low key haters and frenemies around me that, with one hand, they'll up you, they'll be like, yeah, like, continue to do it, and then, they'll be in the next room maybe bashing you, right?
That's huge, bro. It
They
happens
don't.
even now. Yeah.
They want to see you do good, but they never want to see you do better than them, right?
Yeah, that's an old saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very true. It's very true.
What about you? What do you think has kind of taught you as a tattoo artist since you stepped into the game? That's something that you didn't know before. That's kind of was like a shock to you, where you're like, "Whoa, this is how they get down."
Yeah, like, I guess one thing that was a shock is that it's a shock how many people actually really aren't even about it. They're just kind of
There for the money,
faking it till they make it. Basically, they're faking it.
the artists.
Yeah, they fake it till you make it. And that's fine. You got to start somewhere and everything, but like, a real artist, whether it be a tattoo artist or anything else, like, you eat and breathe and fucking live that shit.
It's a lifestyle.
You know, it's a lifestyle. So
For
you don't
sure.
just put it like, it's not a type of job where you leave it at work.
No,
That shit follows you
it's a
home.
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
So you're at home, you're doing homework, like, every night. There's so much stuff behind the scenes that people don't see in any type of artistry, right? Like in music or clothing or
right. Well
tattoos,
said.
whatever. There's so much stuff behind the scene that people don't see. It's not easy. There's a lot of work and hours that go into everything, and there's a lot of, like, heart, right? There's a lot of love that goes into it because it's a craft that you're trying to master, and, like,
Right.
I think that like, yeah, the price is high. It's not supposed to be cheap. Like, it's for quality.
Right.
And, like, how do you think you get quality artists? Like,
Right.
they had to put that time in, you know
For
what
sure.
I mean? So you're paying for their experience.
Right.
Just like a carpenter, you're not paying them for the hourly rate. You're paying them for the years they learn to make that
happen.
shit, right?
For sure. Yeah.
That's why it's tough. Like, the difference between tattooing and, like, construction, for instance. Like, my bro builds decks, and this all summer long he makes fat paper building
Right.
decks and
Right.
does work in the backyards of people's houses, and he'll quote them. He'll give them a quote. I'll give you a nice big wraparound deck. We'll call it 25 grand. And they're like, okay. And he's like, I can get it done, like, this week. And they're like, okay. And they're thinking he's going to come in with a whole crew of guys. They're going to be working around the clock.
Yeah.
And he comes in and punches that thing out in, like, 3 days by himself. And they kind of feel some kind of way after
course,
they're
yeah.
handing
Oh.
this guy 25 grand. And they're like, like,
That's not just
But
with
that's
the
just
deck,
what it is.
homie.
You're not paying them for the deck. You're paying.
Like for the
You were
experience.
fine with the price before he started working.
Yeah.
You didn't know what it was going to take, but he put in those years learning how to get that
Yeah,
job
yeah,
done like
for
that, right?
sure.
So don't feel bad about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of hard with tattooing like that because it's not a fast gig like that. You can't just punch out back pieces and stuff like that. It's a very finely tuned craft. It's like a, you know.
Two points from there is one, numero uno. You have someone dressed the part, disguises the part, trying to fake it till they make it. Um, until they come and they say, "Hey, it's 200 an hour," and they give you the worst tattoo of your life, and you're like, "What the heck just happened? Did I get bamboozled?"
Bro, that's horrible, man.
Right? And then my second point being, I don't think that's just with the deck, homie. I think that's with almost anybody in the game, where if you sell your experience, people will hesitate when it comes to time to pay you, right?
Yeah, it's very upfront when it's in the tattoo game. Like, people are going to pay the price if they're willing to pay the price. And the work speaks for itself. And like, I've noticed that when you have a higher price, obviously the quality's got to match that.
Of
But then
course,
once you have that high rate and you have respect for yourself to charge that,
yeah.
you almost get like a higher, um, you get a higher quality of client.
So understood, yeah,
So you'll get like a little bit more, people that it's not
on
so
the
much
of
about the money. Like they've got the
course,
money.
it's the
They
higher end
want the
clients.
they want the quality
It's
and
the
they'll come for
exclusive
that.
VIP clients that you want.
That's kind of what you're going
Yeah,
for, right?
yeah,
At a
no
certain
doubt,
point. Like you can go and bang out these little tattoos all day and
for
like
sure.
you can make some money, sure.
Yes,
But
yes,
like I'm trying to go for that experience vibe where me and my client, like, we build a relationship, we're doing sick masterpieces, we get creative with it, we do something that's going to bang out, like, turn some heads.
for sure.
And
Because that's what you're here
and we're
for,
gonna
right?
that's what I'm here for, bro.
Yeah.
I love this shit. I want to do stuff that people are like, yo, that's sick. I've been
Well,
doing pieces like that recently where people are like, yo, I get a bunch of stuff in my stories like, yo, that's fire, like, and it gets them thinking to come to me as well, right? Like you put in really good work, it's gonna attract more work for you, right? But like you just be punching out these pieces for the money, then it's a revolving door of shit. You get shittier clients.
yeah.
Um,
Not to cut you off mid sentence, but if you haven't checked out Forte Black and Gray's work, I mean, the last piece that I seen, I don't know on who the canvas was, but it was the something about juice.
Juice.
All I remember was seeing the town. Remember seeing, I
Oh, my
think,
homie, we did a like a gangster sleeve. Yeah, yeah, that's always fun. That's a good
those
theme.
ones. I think those are my favorite.
Yeah,
So you know, maybe pencil me in soon because I
they're one
think
of
I
my
need.
favorites as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
I
need some of
love
that
I love tattooing movie scenes. Anything kind of like pop culture, horror movies, anything like, just kind of characters and scenes.
Yeah.
um I think they're becoming more popular. A lot of people hesitate to get a movie scene on them because they feel like all their tattoos have to have such a meaning.
I'll be honest
But
with
I,
you.
I feel like I feel like the best tattoos have no meaning whatsoever. I feel like they're just sick. I feel like they're aesthetically pleasing and they're just a sick tattoo. They're a compliment.
For sure.
They're a conversation
I'm not
starter.
I'm not gonna knock anybody with that has like their favorite actor tattooed on them or anything, but I feel it's super corny. Um, like as a man, if you have someone else's fucking
You,
face tattooed on them when that person's still alive, like let's say
you think so, eh?
let's say, you know,
There always something
you're a
really
fan
bad
of
could happen. There could be something that really bad comes out about that guy. Like you got Diddy tattooed on you in
100%.
2010, and now you find out this. It's like, oh shit! Now
You
I
know
need
what I
a
mean?
cover up. I guess that could
Yeah,
happen.
that
Yeah,
that yeah, I
yeah.
didn't think about that. I'm thinking more so. I'm thinking more so. You're getting like Al Pacino like tattooed because you like the movie Scarface, but it's like, yo, Scarface wasn't
Bro,
even real.
I
Eh,
hope they go because that's the best thing. Okay, so it's a character. It's not necessarily that they're getting Al Pacino. They're getting Tony Montana tattooed on them. That's dope. I'll do that all day. I have done that, and I
yeah,
hope I get more people that do come and do that. because it's not like you're getting, in my opinion, as long as you capture the essence of the character, you're not just getting the actor. I
Right.
feel like as long as you capture that it's definitely that character and not the actor, it's good to go.
Yeah.
I fuck with movie scenes, bro, big
I
time for
fuck with it too,
tattoos.
but I just
They're
I think
sick as
that's super
fuck.
corny if when dudes get other man's like tattooed on them. It's like, come on. Come on.
All
Like you ain't
right,
get another
bro.
man
Okay, you
tattooed.
call me corny then. You call me
No,
corny.
no, no,
I'm rocking with a
no.
couple boys of
Yeah,
mine.
but those
I got
boys
the
are
Joker
different.
over here. I got American
Okay,
Psycho over here,
that's different,
bro.
man. Joker's passed away. American Psycho, you got what's his
No,
face
no, I
on
got
there?
the new joke, bro.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know why
I hope.
you
I wish I kind of got the old
you got
joke
Christian
though.
Bale on your on your
I
right
got
thigh.
Christian Bale skis. Yeah,
Yeah, man. You know any
he's a
other
G.
Christian Bale movie besides American Psycho?
Batman.
What else, man? Name top 5 Christian Bale movies
The
on the
Machinist
spot.
or some
The
shit.
Machinist or some shit.
What you like with Skin and Bones? You
Skin
seen
and
that?
Bones.
You
Okay,
seen that?
no, but continue. Let's hear another.
You ever
Let's hear
seen? There was
another.
another movie where 50 Cent looked like that when
I
he
never
did,
saw that. I
when
saw
he was
that.
a Skin and Bones. He looked like a chemotherapy
Yeah,
guy.
I saw a trailer for that like years ago, but I never
I
watched
never
that
saw it.
movie.
I was just peeping that out.
No,
Actually,
no, no,
pretty
no,
funny to see.
no. Would you ever get into acting?
Acting? No, I don't know if I would. This is me acting, brother. I'm right here. I'm acting like myself.
That's good. You're too true
Yeah.
to be an actor, but yeah, 'cause we did a little bit of that growing up, right? In
Did
this
you?
like in this Hollywood North, we did you know did extra work for a lot of movies, but I think the all time favorite was being like 10 years old and running up on Benjamin Bratt on the set of Catwoman with Halle Berry, and
Okay.
I pulled up to Benjamin Bratt, at this 10-year-old with the fucking blood in, blood out DVD in his hand.
No.
And I'm like, yo, I need you to sign this. He just looked at me and he's like, yo, how old are you? Like,
That's
he's
awesome.
like, because Benjamin Bratt's that, the boxer, one of the main
Right.
characters in that movie, right? One of my
Okay,
favorite
okay.
movies, Blood and Blood Out essay.
That's dope.
Yeah. But,
You don't want to fuck with the Vatos.
yeah, that's a good movie. It's one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, Blood and Blood Out, 3 hour Chicano gang member flick.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
It reminded me because we started talking about Scarface, right? Definitely falls under that Scarface category.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I religiously watch that movie probably like once or twice a year just to get back into my like.
Yeah, it's
My
nice
old
to get into
self.
some oldies. It's nice to get into some oldies.
Yeah.
Get this fucking party started, eh?
He's like, hey, you fuck with my La Familia, you gotta answer to me, eh? Yeah, he's like, hey, puto. The best is when he's in jail. He's like, hey, Cinderella, find yourself a fella. Clock is ticking, bitch.
Brother.
Brother, don't get so upset because of the fucking swear words. It's blood in, blood out. I'm litty.
Yo, do you think the Vancouver rap scene is
Checkmate. Yes, sir. Sorry.
recordings, brothers? We're recording.
We are recording. Hey, Chico. Hello, my friends. My name is Ali. I am here today. What is fucking question you want to talk about, huh? Tell me what you want to say.
Yo, okay.
Listen, Vatos
Tell me
Locos.
this.
Tell you what,
Because
dog.
like I know what it's like in the tattoo side of things, but like in the music side of things, like is in Vancouver, is it all like competition between artists or is it all love? Like what is it?
So during my time, like early 2008, 2009, 2010, I feel like we were the most hated. The reason I say that is, the group we had, shouts out to Firehouse Records. We released a mixtape with Trey, recorded on Columbia. Shouts out to Paranoid Studios, called King of the V. Think about it.
I remember that. Yeah.
You got a black kid from Coquitlam, 19 years old, talking about the King of Vancouver.
Yeah, so people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this?" kind of thing. I get it.
Yeah, you got to
But what else are you supposed to rap about? You know what I mean? Like you gotta be confident. Confidence is key, bro.
yeah.
I think we talked about it before. Like the reason Kanye went so hard is because he believed in himself so heavily.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
You gotta believe in yourself. Nobody else is gonna fucking believe in you,
Of
right?
course, no, and I mean, super talented, But just I think he didn't really play his cards right. I mean, in the beginning, the cards were definitely dealt right in his favor. Um,
What kind of mistakes do you think you can make if you're trying to come up in the music industry
I think a
when
lot
you're
of
starting
mistakes
out?
can be made. I think one of the biggest mistakes, a lot of rappers or a lot of artists may make is they burn bridges, and they burn the wrong bridges.
Yeah.
And it's primarily over funds, over money, because money just kind of is the root of all evil, right?
Well,
Like,
money's tight when you're starting out. It's
of
it's
course, yeah, but you got to understand, like, when you're young and ambitious and hungry, you got to learn to take that dollar a day and try and make $100 and not make anything, right?
like we talked about before. For the love of it, you're just doing it, just and the money will come,
Yeah.
right? If you just do it for the love of it, bro, and just to grow and get experience, then it'll all come back to you, right?
uh Working hard, you could be grinding for 9 years, right? On that 10th, on that nine and a half, that come up for that 10 years is when you try and cut a corner, is when you fuck it all up and you lose it all,
Mm,
right? So you can be, A1 until you do something shady or fucked up, and that one time you do something is where the world recognizes
yeah.
and and it'll
I know
throw
in
you off
the
game.
in the music industry, like a lot of it's reputation. Like if you do something fucked up or you say
Of
something really
course,
really
that's like in
whack,
any trade, any
then
industry.
like not always, bro. I know tattoo artists. I've heard some crazy stories about whether they're being straight skinners towards girls or whatever, and
Right.
like they'll get put on blast for a little bit, but then they're still got clients and they're doing their thing. They might change their Instagram handle
Yeah,
and
it's
whatever, and people forget. But like in the music industry, I think people don't forget. It's very unforgiving. So you
100%.
switch,
Yeah.
you make a bad name for yourself in whatever, and it becomes very public. Then people are always going to remember you for
So I think
that,
I
right?
think it depends kind of what genre we're speaking of, but definitely in like hip hop rap, I think it's kind of backwards. I don't think it's more so your reputation. It's kind of what you hold yourself to until somebody pulls your face card and realizes, hey, you ain't about that life,
Mm,
right? So there's a lot of dudes out here talking about stuff that they have no business speaking about or rapping about until a real OG steps in their place. You have people in the limelight like Rick Ross,
just
was
yeah, rapping
here.
somebody
And
else's
he
life,
was
right?
here. No, well that too, but he was here, right? At the festival when he got duked out by one of these biker boys,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Like you're coming from someone that's in Hollywood talking about, I live this life, I get you whacked, I get you done, I get you this and that.
It's all talk.
And then
Yeah,
you got some like D boy out in the streets from East Van, that he's on the come up too, trying to make a name for himself, but he's gonna pull your face card. So if
yeah,
there's dudes like that, you're gonna get G checked no matter what,
right.
right? And I don't think that plays along in every art and every genre of music, but it
Yeah.
definitely plays like in this hip hop game, in this rap game.
Well, I think some people get so big like Rick Ross or whatever, and then they feel like they're just the shit, and they feel like they're better than everybody, and they walk around like with their
Right?
chest out, like what I mean.
They
Like
got
be
nine
humble,
lives.
man. Be
Yeah.
humble, bro. Like who do you think you are? Like nobody likes like I know that in the world of acting and stuff like that, when people find out what the actors really like behind the
Right.
scenes, like that whole shit's coming out about Ryan Reynolds and his girl or whatever. What's her
I
name?
hadn't seen that. No.
This whole thing going on about them, and like they're getting sued right now for like defamation and all this shit because
Yeah.
they're super mean, disgusting people. When they're not acting, they're just like
Well,
they're
a lot
just
of Hollywood's like that, right?
assholes.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
Holly
now it's
weird.
coming out, and everyone's just like when they think of their name, they hate them now.
Yeah.
They can't stand them, right? Because the
It's
real
insane.
truth came out.
Yeah.
Blake Lively or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently she's just a mean lady,
They're
right?
all
But
mean.
yeah. Um,
But
so
back.
yeah, nobody likes that shit. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be lovable if you're real, you're authentic, but you're also just humble, bro. And we're all the same. We're all just meat and flesh and bones,
Of
bro.
course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not a god or anything like that.
Oh
So
no.
I think that like snotty like um kind of
Attitude.
attitude is
Yeah. No doubt.
just
That
it's
demeanor.
not
That
that
yeah.
demeanor is horrible,
That whole
bro.
swagger towards it is not it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Um yeah, man. Like what do you think no, that's already fucking done. What's one trend in the music marketing that artists need to stop doing? Yeah, I was reading it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Hang
yeah,
on,
for
hang
sure, brother. I'm just talking shit just to kind of we buying into it. You know, you heard me. Let me take a little sip of Rooney on my drink. To answer your question, very dank, my friend.
on. What's a trend that artists need to stop doing when they're marketing their music or trying to
Ah,
get out there?
shouts out to Mercules. He's a big boy. I fuck with Mercules.
Yeah, he's doing big things for sure.
I was never a fan of the whole cover, doing covers for other songs, taking someone's beat. A remix is different, but a lot of dudes will do covers. Now Mercules kills covers. He takes the beat
I
and
enjoyed a
he
lot of
will
those. Yeah.
flip it, which I like.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people will just do renditions or remakes of certain
Right.
songs,
Not very original at all.
and I'm
He
just
did it
like,
in an
yo, cut
original
it out.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between originality and just like plagiarism or like copying or
Right.
you know what I mean. One thing that does, I'm not this like super famous hip hop head or rapper or anything, and it's just my opinion, but I don't like when rappers name drop in a lot of music. You
The
know,
Game. Shouts out to The
that's
Game,
exactly what I
brother.
was thinking of. And
Yeah.
growing up, I was a huge Game fan.
He's got some fire
I
tracks for
just don't
sure.
like the whole name dropping thing. It's like I always feel you need to establish your own ground and your own kind of character.
Just have skill and just like
Yeah,
show it. And that's the same thing with when people are rapping like about the lifestyle that's not theirs. Like I bet you if they're actually a good rapper, they could rap about an
anything.
ordinary
Yeah,
lifestyle and make it sound sick for
yeah,
the ordinary Joe. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I'm rolling to work in my 6'4". I gotta do a
yeah,
9 to 5. That's how it go. Like,
yeah.
bro, but you could do it better than that. But you know
Of
what I
course,
mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, it
hundred
doesn't have to be about
percent.
fucking
Forte
bitches
on the
making
beat. Yeah,
money
no
and
doubt.
fucking slanging drugs. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, it's so
What?
played out to me. Like, I don't even think that shit's cool. To be honest with you,
No.
when I was younger, sure, thought it was cool.
Yeah,
Everybody did.
yeah, for sure.
But if you're still like, if you're selling drugs, like maybe if you're super successful at it, whatever. But if you're like selling drugs and not making more money than me, you're a fucking loser, bro.
So
Like you're
100%,
risking
no
it
doubt.
all for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like you're a fucking loser. Like
It's
you're
it's the I think the way it works is, we grew up on drug dealing music. Kids are growing up on drug using music,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We discussed that. We said that. We established that, and that's what the generation has come to. And I feel like there's so many ways to make money that these young kids, these young bulls, they do not need to be resorting to, selling drugs or to get involved into this shit because it's not cool anymore and you're
No.
outdated,
Yeah.
right? It was cool
It was cool
maybe
before,
20 years
yeah.
ago to be doing this because we had no choice because we came out of high school, we didn't have any direction. We didn't know, we want to go become a tradesman. We wanted to go work in this field or get a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't have any direction
We didn't
or
have any
plan or
direction. We
anything.
we just kind of went out there.
And I was like when we were young, like we were all, they say that weed is the gateway drug. It's true.
Yeah.
And like you get into hanging out, doing drugs and
Yeah.
with friends and it gets escalating and stuff like that. And then like I was, you know, pushing shit back then as well, but it was mainly just, bro, I had a habit of my own to support, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And it was a big part of why it went on so long is because, like, you know what I mean, you're around it so long,
Yeah.
it becomes a part of your life, and then
It's
you're in
unfortunate,
it,
right?
bro. It's unfortunate. It sometimes can take over your life, right? I've seen that happen so many times, the
Yeah.
same story over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So it's sad. It's not the road to go.
It's
If you're young
definitely
and
not.
you're trying to figure it out, that's not the road. There's so
Yeah.
many opportunities, man.
There's way too many opportunities. Like
And way more than we had. Like, punch out a business plan in ChatGPT and go get it, bro. Like,
100%.
come
You
on.
just took the
You
words
know
out
what
of
I
my
mean?
head.
Like
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you put the same effort into that as you into diamond up fucking, half grams or whatever,
Whatever it is.
go
Yeah.
put the effort into something actually
Yeah.
positive, right?
Yeah. Of course.
You'll make way more money if you're good at what you're doing.
And
You
you're doing
know?
something positive. You're putting out that positiveness and the energy in the world. It's gonna come back to you tenfold, right?
It is, bro.
So-
It is. I find that, like, if you give back a little bit, even if you do stuff just for the
Yeah.
out of the goodness, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you get rewarded for it. I've heard
If
so many people say the same thing. The more good you do and not even thinking of anything in return, you just
that's
get it
just how it
back out of
comes back.
nowhere, out of the, not from the same person, but later down the
Of
line, like
course,
almost immediately, sometimes quick, sometimes
it's
slow. But
it's funny that we're speaking like this. Hey, if you would have said this stuff to the
yeah, I
younger
would think
us,
that
and
was all crazy. Like, no, no, I
yo, what
want
are
to
you
get mine
talking
out of this
about?
guy. And, you know what I mean? Like,
I
I'm
like
not,
that. That's called growth. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's definitely
That's
growth, bro.
adulting 101.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, being able to like actually look at yourself and like how you can improve and like even your thoughts, how they've changed, like
Yeah, man.
everything, right?
Thoughts are very dangerous. But not to cut you off about people doing the wrong thing and making these wrong choices and getting involved in shit that's kind of not worth it anymore. I think it's more social media and this whole culture has just glorified, you know, being that guy, but it's not cool. It's played out.
It's in
It's
every rap song, bro. Like I'm kind
yeah,
of sick of those songs. Like my homie at the shop, he hates trap music. He
yeah,
calls it trap, right?
yeah.
And it's true. Like
Yeah.
it's got a catchy beat
It
and
gets played
everything, and
out, man.
sometimes the chorus is cool, but all the shit they rap about is so boring and
Yeah,
played out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I'd almost just rather listen to the instrumental, bro. Like
100%.
sometimes, right? Um,
As I've gotten older, I've been a hip hop head my whole life, right? And as I've gotten older, I've moved on to different genres of music, and it's there's art in everything,
I've
right?
been I've been playing around with some different genres, bro. Some of them oldies
Let's
just
not
hit,
talk about
bro.
what you were bumping when I got into the car.
What was I
I
bumping?
don't even know. It was like some like I think it was more so for the baby to put him to sleep. But I
Maybe.
don't know what you'd be listening to in that car of yours, dude.
Come on, bro. Don't be hating, bro.
I'm just joking, brother.
All right, all right.
Mm,
Um,
mm. Where's that little thing? That little piece? That
that
little
little
earpiece?
thing.
The little piece, you know?
What piece? Oh, that thing
Yeah,
thing.
the thing. Ooh,
I got that
thing.
thing. What's next for your brand in 2025, bro?
You
What's
know,
next for Apostoloso, brother?
anything is possible. I think brand elevation, brand awareness. Um, as you know, I took a few years off, got to travel, got to explore, got to expand my horizons. Um, I'm coming back full fledged, putting pressure on the neck and here to just kind of take it to another level.
Yeah, man. I'm focused right now too. I'm just like really trying to get it from all aspects, right? All angles.
Right.
Um, we're doing everything we can. I think both of us, and like it's cool to collab too, bro. Because like you and I, we have entirely different lanes, but like we're able to come
We're on the
together. And
same highway, just
a
different
lot of
lanes.
a lot of people, like whether you're a tattoo artist, a barber, like you're in music or you do clothing, whatever,
Right.
they're all very similar. Whereas you need to build a brand,
For
and
sure.
you can collab with somebody that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
your own thing. You know what I mean?
We
But
come
if you guys
together as a
come together
collective.
and you come, yeah, collective, bro, and
Yeah,
like
for sure.
that's just the thing, man. People need to work together more and stop trying to have this competition with each other. Like even if I had another clothing brand, like we could still collab, bro, because they
For
only
sure,
help
man.
each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they pit off each other, right?
And I
So
think that's also a big problem in the whole music game here was people weren't wanting to collab, right? People would just think, you know, this man's gonna use me to get to the next level, right?
right, right.
But it's pretty evident, it's pretty obvious, like who's got talent out here and who doesn't, right? Um, you know, not to get into specifics, but there's a lot of good artists out here, to my
Mm.
knowledge that I personally know, that we spoke about some of their names yesterday, right? Um, that have talent, but they just been blacklisted, right? Maybe by guilty association, but they weren't getting any club shows, they weren't getting any studio time in the show,
Mm.
in the city. My apologies, right? So um, that's where it was hard for some people to take off here, and they had to leave the city in order to kind of take off,
Yeah.
right? And aside from those dudes that had real talent, you have a handful of fugazi dudes out here with just fake numbers, fake plays, and they're out here running around thinking like they're the next best thing coming out of, you know, Vancouver, let alone Canada. Um, And I think a lot of artists are not paying homage and respect to the dudes who paved the way for Vancouver rap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Shouts out to the Rascals, Red One, Chemo. Big shouts out to DJ Chemo. Right?
You think everybody just comes in and they think they're the new wave, and everybody
100%.
else is just old head, eh?
That's it. That's it. Right? And a lot of these dudes that are out here, you know, are not paying respect. And there's some people that I think just I wouldn't want to use the word culture vulture, but um, there's a whole long situation with swollen members back in the early 2000s, and then it kind of rerouted. They went away, and then they kind of made a comeback for it. 2010.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, people got to recognize who really put Vancouver on the map, right? Um, because let alone Toronto, we have Tory Lanez, Drake, Beats by Nav, and all these other guys out from Toronto. But you gotta really think of who really put on for Vancouver, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a handful of other artists. I can't really pronounce his name. I'm not, I've heard his music, but I'm not something I would listen to. But I think it's like BB Nos or something.
I'm not familiar with it.
And there's a couple other dudes who have blown up. There's an Eric Pride or Eric Preed, an Asian kid. There's a lot of dudes out here that have blown up that have like won Junos, right?
Wow.
They've kept it low key out here, right? Like I've done my research. I've been away from the rap game, like this whole music game in Vancouver for a while, but I still keep my ears to the streets, right? You like the picture I sent you earlier?
Which one's that?
We had the boy rapping on a fridge.
Oh, bro, yeah, those
You
are
saw
some
that?
old pics. Eh? That was from that night. Tell
Yeah.
me, okay, tell the people, bro. Like, let's hear about this. This is epic. Like,
Yeah, that's a good story.
you held a story that was,
Yeah.
it was not supposed to be a real venue for that.
No, so
it was
we
just
would.
a straight hood fucking
Yeah,
concert,
I mean,
eh?
if anyone's watching this and they know, the details of this, like, please send me clips. Bang bang. Let's run that question back. This is Polish Hall. That's what we were getting at. The story.
Yeah, like you were telling me about the story where you had like the hood concert out of the venue somewhere here in town. It was
Right.
just like you slapped it together. A bunch of people showed up. It was
Right,
just
right.
like an epic scene, right?
Yeah,
It was interesting though, but like you had no stage. Like what was it?
No. So if anyone's watching this, and you got details, please DM us with footage. I mean, I showed Forte the pictures that we had. We had a couple.
That was
pictures
wild.
from,
Yeah.
it was
You
like
look, you guys were
2000.
young.
So if I'm not mistaken, it was we did two shows, Got Swag Halloween edition, and we did like a Got Swag part 2, and it was Halloween, so we wanted people to dress up. We weren't able to get like a proper venue, so the big homie rented out the Polish Center, banquet
Cultural
hall
Center. Okay.
on Kingsway. I don't remember details. I was young. I was like 15 years old, right? Um, we had that place jumping. Line up through the back. Uh, I don't even know what the head count was, but it was a wild party where we had Trey performing. Shouts out to Trey. We had Farah perform, the first lady of Firehouse. We
Nice.
had a group of guys. Shouts out to Canine, big fella. I don't even know if these guys are still around.
Yeah, eh? That was back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, it was a beautiful thing. It was a Firehouse thing.
Yeah.
But we had them perform on I think it was a cooler we had. We pulled the cooler from the kitchen. We ended up throwing like a blanket on top. You saw the picture. We're standing on stage with a mic.
A stage.
Pretty much,
A cooler
right?
stage.
Yeah, and we killed it. I mean, that was
It worked though.
so people who know about this.
That's
It's
awesome.
in the
man.
books, right?
I feel like people when we had parties back in the day, like when we were that age, like we would have been. Was that still high school times?
It was just
Just
after.
after. Just
No,
after.
So for me, I mean, because we're a couple years different, right?
Yeah, I think you're a couple years younger than
Yeah.
me.
So I mean, for me, I think it was like 2007. So my apologies. Yeah. So it's 2007.
Hmm.
It was just before 2008.
Yeah.
before the
But
whole
like I remember
recession.
back in those times, like when somebody had a rented out a hall or there was a party, even a
Yeah,
house party,
yeah.
like so many people
Would
knew
show
about
up.
it and would show up.
It would be
They would
overpopulated.
people from different
Yeah,
schools, people
yeah.
like would pop out because like just like you know what it is when you're young. Like
You're
if it's
putting it
Friday or
together for me.
Saturday
Yeah,
night and you don't have plans, you're choked. You have
yeah.
so much FOMO, bro. You're just choked. You got nothing to do. And so
Fear
like
of
you're on the
missing out,
phone,
FOMO.
you're looking at, you know,
Yeah,
what
man.
to do online and you're figuring out where the party is and you're heading there with your buddies,
Online
right?
where? Remember,
Oh,
I
there
mean,
wasn't.
there
There
was no
wasn't. But I
online.
don't know how everybody gets to
So
know.
I
Like,
remember
how
we
did
had
everybody know?
Facebook,
Facebook?
but
Yeah, it
we
was
but
Facebook.
it was Facebook, but we weren't really on
That's what I
Facebook like
mean.
that. You if you were in the loop, you were in the loop.
Somebody was in the loop in your crew though, and
Yeah,
they would get like
yeah,
telephone would go off. You
yeah.
know, like
So since you're saying this, I'm a lot of old school names are popping into my head. I wish I could just shout out the whole long list of dudes, and females and guys who came out and showed support.
that's
Right, I
awesome, bro.
remember from like Centennial to Best to Glen Eagle to Pine Tree to Heritage. These all Coquitlam, and I'm sure we had some D boys come. There was no age
Oh, I bet.
restriction, right?
I bet. I bet you
Um,
there's some
oh yeah,
older
hundred
folks as
percent.
well.
Um,
But it's cool to be a part of something like that, even at a
yeah,
young age, to
yeah,
even have like like whatever crew you guys had, and like
yeah,
you had big plans at such a young age,
mhm,
and like you guys probably thought it was going to the moon, and maybe it could have, it didn't,
yeah.
but like at that time, like it's just cool to be a part of something
Of
like that,
course, yeah.
man, and have like some hustle and some passion behind it,
Yeah.
whereas like so many other people will turn to just selling dope and to the
Well,
streets,
I was
right?
young, right? I was young, and I got pulled into it because, just the people around me at the time, right? Like my brother's business partners, and it was attractive to me, right? Like I was always into the
For
music
sure,
scene,
bro.
but that was one of the first experiences that I got to, kind of see in the limelight, where like I thought I was somebody, but at the time I was just a 15-year-old promoter,
Of course.
trying to get it in at Metrotown, at the SkyTrain, handing out flyers like, hey, you know who this is? Like, we're doing a show. Like, please come.
Yeah.
Tickets are only $10. And I'd go home at the end of the day with like $400 or $500 in ticket sales, and
Wow.
I was slanging mixtapes. Like, I was really out here living that like life of like a promoter,
That's
hand to
awesome,
hand,
bro.
singing,
You
selling
probably
stuff to
could have been a
people.
great promoter downtown, bro. You could have
I
been
never
like
really
making
wanted
that
to
hustle out
get
there.
into it like that, but I did have the opportunity after the whole firehouse thing,
Mm.
where I started working with shouts out to we call him Chemo, but he's the Coquitlam Chemo, uh, Kent Morrison. Um,
Oh, I
and
know him.
yeah,
Yeah,
shouts out to Kent. And we also work with Jerome,
I know.
Millwater.
Yeah,
Shouts out to
Jerome's
Jay
dope. They're
Mills.
both those boys are good shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't even know if you know the backstory, but I had a close relationship with those two, where Chemo Kent was the funds, and Jerome was the talent,
Yeah,
and
Jerome could rap
yeah. So when I
for
when I had
sure.
all the opportunity to work, with these artists, and we kind of like fell out, um, I felt like I had so much experience that I took these guys on, and Kent will testify. I had a show where I had Swollen members come. There's footage on YouTube, where I had
Nice.
Jerome. I think it was Jerome's one of his first shows.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
and I don't want to say I put him on, but we put each other on, and
You
we
figured it
fucked
out
with each other
together. Yeah.
hard. Yeah, like, and I think that was the same time. These boys know the story. I was young and wrong place, wrong time, because Mr. Kent was a good boy back in the day, and we got pulled over in North Vancouver, leaving the studio, um, actually meeting up with Trey, trying to do a business plan, and me and the boy Kent kind of got locked up for the night. It was an
Oh
interesting
no.
little experience. We spent the night together,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, just young kids, right?
Shit
Like making the wrong
happens.
decisions, but um, yeah, those boys, worked with them for a little bit. Had my own show. Shouts out to Babylon nightclub. Um, I don't even know the numbers, but I know I made money that night. Um, at the time, now that I think of it, I don't even know if
And you
I
had a good time doing it.
had a great time doing it. But
You
now
know.
that I think about it, as I'm older, I was the youngest doing it. I wasn't even old enough to be in the club,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I remember when
Do
I
you have a
kind of
fake or what?
I had my brother's ID,
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah. That
We were like
works.
twinsies, but
Yeah.
like 10 years apart. But I was still pulling in with the ID, and it's funny because Um, getting into details. Rest in peace to Little's the General. Now, someone who's watching this and knows all these name drops, if we kind of surprised on how I kind of correlated with all these people. And Little's the Generals was an artist that was from Halifax, and he worked closely with Belly.
Oh,
And
sick.
I was gonna have him come out to the show.
That'd be crazy, bro.
Before I spoke, and I had Swollen members come to the show with Trey, because at that time when I started working with Jerome in Kent, being in the studio with them all the time, I still had ties with Trey, and at the time Trey was working with Swollen members.
Hmm.
So I told him, hey man, come do the show for me. So Trey pulled up with Mad Child, Prevail, Rob the Viking,
Nice.
and they came and did the show for me. We had some issues, of course, because Mr. Mad Child was going through his phase, and we had some issues, and I still got paid. They got paid, um, but I don't think Jerome got compensated or anything. But Jerome was just
Hmm.
such a G about just being having the opportunity, because he was
Just for
in
the
and
love
out
of
too,
it, bro.
right?
Just for the love of it. I like
Yeah.
that, you know?
And I don't know where he is right now too. But if you're watching this and word gets around, like, call at me. I've been
I
trying to
think
get a
he's a
hold of him
family
too.
man. I think he's a
He's a
family
family
man.
man.
I think I
Last
seen
time
him online
he's
somewhere.
he's
Yeah.
over on the
That's
island or
good.
something. But
That's awesome, bro.
he's a good guy. Yeah, we took care of
I
him.
love seeing all the people from the back in the day that grew up and made like, a life for themselves
Of
and have a
course, yeah,
family and fucking
yeah,
live in that shit,
yeah, yeah,
Because bro, I know so many people from when we were growing up that didn't make it, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Or like they're in jail or they're dead and that's
yeah,
just it. And
yeah.
they it doesn't get to have a happy ending
No, it doesn't,
like some of us
unfortunately.
do, right?
Yeah, we have the opportunity to kind of
So,
change the story for us. I mean, we both kind of been through ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're still here. We're still kicking, and we're trying to make positive decisions for everyone who's behind
yeah.
us, to understand that, hey, these guys can go through this fucked up shit and succeed, and through all this generational trauma, and like this trauma that the city, I would personally say, has given us. As you were talking about weed being the gateway drug, and all of this, and to
Yeah, in
myself, I
high
was
school and
thinking,
stuff,
yeah, I
right?
was thinking to myself, when you said that, like, what if Vancouver in Canada was a country that was crazy about, like, drug control? Like,
Drug
how is
laws
it
and
that it's
stuff.
so fucking
It's a port city,
open
bro.
right now,
It's a
right? Like,
port city, bro.
it's crazy, right?
And that
So
liberal government, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it, bro.
yeah.
Yo, I think that was a lot of dope music shit. Let's topic switch.
Let's do it.
Fucking you have that sheet for of mine?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you. You've been doing tattoos, because you've been doing tattoos for a while, and you're pretty tatted up. I mean, I'm not all the way there yet. I'm almost there. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as a tattoo connoisseur?
As a connoisseur, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you could say I'm that. There's a different I think there's a lot of different people that get tattooed. They do it in a lot of different ways. Some people are tattoo collectors where they
Yeah.
get tattooed by different artists, all over the world, or they'll have they'll save skin for an artist they've been following and that they love their stuff, and they collect it like an artwork or like that, right? I think for me, I finally just found somebody that I can trust and I like their style, and a lot of people are the same way. They just finally find someone that they can leave it to them and they like the way it turns out, and
Right.
they hand over all
Right.
their trust, right? And so I'm almost done up, like I'm almost finished, right? So I'm actually going to be going back and doing like some cover ups and like doing some laser stuff, and like kind of it just never ends, man. You know,
Yeah, for sure. It's a
it's
never
funny,
ending game.
it's funny when you first start getting like your first tattoo. I see it with a lot of my own clients. They'll get the first tattoo, maybe it'd be like a half sleeve,
Right.
and then okay, like it's looking kind of weird. They maybe get the other side or whatever, how their half sleeve, and then they want to get the other, full sleeve on
Right.
one
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
but now they got to get the full sleeve on the
Of
other
course.
side,
Yeah.
and now their legs are same thing happened to me. Now their legs are looking naked, so they got to do, they put on a leg sleeve for summertime and they're showing out in the shorts, and like, okay, now it looks stupid, I got to do the other leg,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, now I got to do my back, and it just
Of
continues, bro. It
course.
just
Yeah.
keeps going
Yeah.
and going, and even when you're like halfway through the sleeve and there's that gap that's missing, it drives you crazy till you
Mm-hmm.
can't wait till your next
Hundred
session, you get that
percent.
gap filled, and then you just feel a little more
Yes,
complete
sir.
every
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just yeah, it's kind of a beautiful thing, man. Like the whole the chase of it, you
Right.
know. Um, and yeah, man, I like that. Like
It's a beautiful thing.
it is.
I like it personally, but I remember when I first got my chest done, I was like, okay, the other side looks kind of naked.
Right.
I got my arm done. I'm like, this side looks naked. And then now that I got pieces done, I'm looking for little holes
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
putting like little
You
symbols
want it to
that are
flow. You want
meaningful
it to
to me.
have like you get to it.
Yeah.
You start out and you have, you know, a few random pieces,
Yeah.
and there's like way more skin than anything. And then
Yeah.
eventually, as it starts getting to like you're halfway tattooed, you're like, oh shit, now I got to start filling in all these odd
Yeah.
gaps because the skin is the weird part. At first, the tattoo is the thing that stands out. Now it's the skin that stands out more than the tattoos, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's like a shield of armor. You just try to get all those that shield on full
I got a
complete.
real question for you. Do you think face tattoos are a bad decision, or they just a flex?
I I think that's a good word for it. It's a flex. I think I don't know. I think that if you're fully tattooed, you love tattoos so much, you've got them everywhere, and you're just running out of space, then go for it. But I think that like people jump the gun and they get face tatted way too quickly. And I think that it's also like a huge trend thing. Like they get like the thing like it's right here, like a teardrop. It used to be the teardrop. Now I see people doing like another thing there, whether it's a star or like I've seen a lot of tattoo artists getting like a little tattoo machine right there. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like
Should I get a little T-shirt and tattoo,
you should get
a
a
T-shirt and
t-shirt.
pants,
You should get a
and a
t-shirt
pair
and
of socks and
pants.
underwear? Just be like, I'm in the clothing
I'm in the
game
clothing game.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I
And
don't
then get
know.
like a couple of music notes. Like this was my past life.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't know
I'm
if you
into
have to
it.
wear it on your face, like personally. Like the head's cool. I think even like right up the chin,
Yeah,
I might even get my dome done or
yeah.
whatever, but
But
I'm
the
gonna keep it
face,
off the face
yeah,
personally. That's just my own
yeah.
opinion. Um I think that's a bit much. I'm scary enough as it is, bro. Like you know what I
You're
mean?
intimidating
A little bit. It's funny because I heard people say that I look intimidating. They don't know what to
because
expect, but like I'm not at all. You know what I mean? Like I'm super
you
chill.
got a
I
resting fuck face. Like how
do I?
females have a resting bitch face. Us guys, we got a resting fuck face. I apologize
Okay.
for the cussing, but I mean, I think that's how it is. Like when you're mean
Maybe,
mugging,
maybe it
trust
is.
me.
I don't
Oh,
mean to do it. I know that some
no,
people love to
no,
mean mug. I don't like
no,
that at all.
no. I
But
mean, there's a difference between mean mugging and difference just being in your own zone
yeah,
and just like having a certain look.
right.
But I feel like we're like gentle giants, man. A lot of people look at us. I think it's the tattoos.
Yeah.
But I have this discussion with my partner like every single day, right? Like
Oh, she
I'm
sees it on you, huh?
well I'm a friendly person, right? But I will walk into an elevator and if I'm wearing a t-shirt and people are just like they'll look the other way and they're shook, right? Especially you got a brown guy with a beard,
Mm.
a couple piercings, tattoos, like they kind of trip out and then once I'm like, oh, I make a comment about something that just right. I think it's you can't judge a book by its cover. Read the
Yeah,
prefix,
you
like
can't judge a
read
book
the
by its
intro
cover.
first
Yeah,
a little bit.
I think that's why it's also very important for us to do what we're doing right now, man. Like to show face
Yeah,
and to be like the face of your own
of
brand and to
course.
give people the opportunity to see what you're about and what you're like and what to
Right,
expect when they come to see you.
right.
You know, like they're coming in blind. Like I've had
Yeah,
so many clients, like God bless them, they came in blind, didn't know what to expect, and then we hit it off and we built a
of course.
relationship, and
Yeah,
some of them turned into like great friendships and lifelong clients and
right.
friends, right?
Yeah,
But um I understand that, you know, some people can be intimidated or nervous to, you know, not sure what to expect. And even like myself messaging artists that I don't know, like
right,
am I going to want to spend the whole day with this person? Are we not going to vibe? Are they going to, you know, kind of give me a bit of an asshole
right,
vibe?
right.
You know, you never know, right? So I think it's good, man, that we're showing a bit of
Getting out there
ourselves, getting
for
out
people to
there,
kind
and
of understand who we are,
yeah,
who Forte Black and Gray is, who that Instagram handle is.
yeah, I'm the same guy all day, man. So
Yeah. Um, Dead or alive, who would you want to tattoo?
who would
That
I
would
want to
be like a
tattoo?
goal that you could say you finally have made it
I finally have made it.
when you get to tattoo somebody. Does it have to be, you know, someone that's super wealthy, or does it have to be someone famous in the limelight?
It would probably for me it would just to have to be almost I don't want to be a celebrity tattoo artist at all
Why not?
because um like it would be awesome to be able to have those experiences. That'd be great. But I don't want us like
You don't want to
have
ink
that.
up ball players and
No,
rappers and
that'd be sick. That'd be
right.
great. Don't get me wrong. Um, but like that's not all I am. I'm still like for the average person as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um, I feel like when you start having that kind of buzz, then it's
Right.
almost like you feel like you're unapproachable for the average person, right? Or like, you know, you'll obviously get like some high quality clients as well that they don't all have to be famous and stuff, and like, you know, that'd be great. I've honestly have heard some bad experiences when people are dealing with like celebrities, or
They feel entitled.
they feel a bit entitled. They're
I
a
think
bit,
so.
they
Yeah.
waste your time a
Yeah.
bit, you know what I mean? Like they might pull up, they might not, or they
Yeah.
might show up 3 hours late,
Late. Right.
you know what I mean? And
Typical.
like they might, you know, not listen to your advice and
Yeah.
just do what they want anyways, and like it might not be the best experience like you think it would be, right?
Yeah.
But if you I
That's a
think if
load of
you
shit.
I think if you build up your brand enough and show, you know, the proof in the pudding, that people will take your word for it and listen up, you know. And
Right.
that's what I'm trying to do every day, man. I'm trying to talk my clients into making better decisions,
Right.
because like that work, if it does well, it does everything for me, you know.
Yes.
I want it to do well.
Of
Like I
course.
obviously want the client to get what they want,
Yeah.
but I just want to guide them into making it the best it can be, because then it's good for
Overall
my
experience.
portfolio. It's good for me to grab more clients, because it can be the best
Yeah.
tattoo that it
Yeah.
could possibly be, right?
I agree.
A lot of people, they're very stubborn and they're stuck on what they think is the best
The correct
way to
way
go
because they've
about
done
it.
their research.
Yeah, like, or something they've seen, and they just don't want to hear it, like
Right.
any of my opinion or advice on the matter, right? And like those are hard clients to work with. um
They forget that's why you get paid the big bucks.
you know, I do this every day, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I might know a thing or two about it. So
Just a little bit more than them.
maybe more than them, yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe not more than everybody, but probably more than them, someone
For
who
sure.
doesn't tattoo at all, right? So
Do you look at someone with tattoos? Do you approach them? I guess you would approach them differently than someone that would walk in with, like, let's say, a couple tattoos. Let me rephrase that.
that's
Do
a good
you
one.
judge personally? Would you judge somebody looking at them if they have tattoos more than you? Do you look at them some type of way? Because I know when I see someone tatted up more than me, I'm like, okay, I need to step my game up.
I put
In a
I put some
positive
respect
way.
on it. I put some respect
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
but only if they're good tattoos. And I'll be honest with you, I'm judging you if you got bad ones. A little bit. I'm judging. I might not say nothing. I'll be nice about it, but um yeah, I don't think it's a
What
good look.
defines a bad tattoo?
I think everybody knows what it is. Like, you'd have to see it to know it. I think some people, like, you'd have to, maybe some people that don't know what they look like if they have a bad tattoo or not, you'd have to almost just like stand next to somebody that has an amazing tattoo, something that's the craziest you've ever seen, and then compare it to your own.
How many bad tattoos do you have?
Oh, I've got a bunch. Got a bunch, bro.
I'm proud of my tattoos, especially my back ones.
Yeah, I got a bunch. I'm not super proud of them, because now I'm putting all work like that's just so much better than my own
Yeah.
work, right?
Yeah.
So when you get to that point, you're like you're already so picky of like the work that you do every day, and then you know, you look at your own stuff and you're like, oh man. So I'm coming circling back, and I'm getting fixed up, and I'm doing a whole lot of rework and stuff. So
Tell the people where they can find you, where they can find Drippin' Ink, where they can find the boy, Forte being G.
that's right. Yes, Forte.bng. I got me on the IG.
The Instagram. You're not on TikTok?
I'm not really on TikTok, bro. I'm not really playing that game. It's too much for me, bro. I feel like aren't they closing that down? Aren't they closing that down
Regardless,
now?
we're
I should maybe get
attacking
on it. I
every
should try and
avenue
get. I
there
should try
is.
and get in every avenue. You're right, bro. There's a
Right.
lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
that comes on the back end of this stuff, right?
We're going to take care of it step by step.
Yeah, we'll get on it.
Social by social, but for now,
You
They
can
can
find me
find
in
you at.
person, bro. I'm out here talking to people in
That's it.
person. You got to be your own, your own best promoter. Like you
Yes,
were the promoter
sir.
back in the day,
Yep.
and they had you. Like we don't got nobody like that. We got to be that for
Yeah.
ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So, I'm out at these conventions and these shows,
Right.
and I'm talking to people. I've got these business cards coming in. I'm like, I'm gonna be just making it rain. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
and it's a kind of a business where you've got to be a people person. I think, bro, to be successful,
Let me.
you've got to be a people person. You got to be able to speak and build
Of
relationships. It's
course.
a
Of course.
relationship business.
Of course.
You can't just put your headphones on
And do a
and
tattoo.
tune out and do a tattoo
Why not?
and okay, thanks, see you later,
Yeah.
because you don't know anything about that person. They
Person.
don't know anything about you. You didn't
Yeah.
get to know each other.
Yep.
There's no connection. They're going to go to anybody else next time. It doesn't matter if it's you.
Yikes. You just lost
I'm just
business.
saying, you're hurting
You just
yourself.
shot yourself in the foot.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, bro. I don't see the need to put your fucking headphones on so much
Yeah.
and
Well,
zone out.
it's different businesses. You don't like to put your headphones on. I love to put my headphones on. Um,
That's a totally different business. You're not in quite you're in a people business as well, but it's more when you're on the back end designing and doing your thing, it's more behind the scenes, right?
yeah, it's definitely behind the scenes where I do have my headphones in and I'm zoning out the world, but um, I'm just talking shit.
But
Just
when it's time to be a people person, you got to
I
actually
have
get
to.
out
I gotta
there
be
with the
out there.
people, right?
Well, I've been aside from this clothing gang and music gang and everything else, I'm a whole different person outside of we're gonna push a 9 to 5, but um, either or, I am always a people person. I'm very approachable. Um, I don't gatekeep. I love to put everybody on game.
Mm.
Um, that did change back in the day. I loved to gatekeep. I didn't want anybody wearing the same clothes as me, making the same moves as me.
Right.
Um, but then I think that comes with a whole different time and age, where
Oh yeah.
you didn't have Chat GPT to tell you how to do this and that. Like, I had to go out in these streets and learn how to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Right. I had to go put in time. I had to get, you know, dial up internet to try and get on the internet to figure things out. And eventually over time, I think once I learned how to like screen print and like cut and cloth and design, and that's kind of when I started putting things out and would put people on game. But I love putting people on game because if you can succeed and get yourself to a certain point, you can put that same energy into somebody else and you can watch them go, right? You put a battery in their pack
Right.
and you watch them go and you see how far they go, and then eventually they're gonna come and link you and say, hey man, let's collaborate. Let's
If they're cool like that, I've had people that you help them out and they just show no love at all and they forget about you, and that's fine, bro. Like that's you. But you keep doing good things and being a
yeah.
good person, it's just
You
gonna keep
have to.
coming back,
You have
right?
to. Yeah, there's no way around it. You
You
can't
can't
fake the
just get
game.
sour about that one thing
No,
or
no,
incident that happened and
no.
then just
It doesn't work like that.
go dark and just start treating
Yeah.
people like shit. That's just not the way, man.
You
Like,
got you got to keep it G. You got to keep it 1,000.
yeah, man.
And I mean, I think it just all comes with time and experience through everything, right? Um, just backtracking a little bit, just to clarify some things about the music game and dudes making the wrong moves. Um, I think a lot of people, when I said they burn their bridges, is I never think you should burn a bridge completely. You should leave,
I believe that as
a
well.
little bit. Like, a saying that my dad says all the time is don't close the door completely.
Yeah.
Leave it a smidge open, just so you can get your foot back in if you need to.
You
Um,
never know,
but a
man.
lot of dudes out here will just burn the fucking bridge because they think, hey, I'm better than you. I don't need you,
Yeah.
right?
Anymore. I don't need
Anymore,
you
right?
anymore, so
And
fuck you.
you see people go into retirement and never fucking going to the studio again and never rapping because they are fucking pushing 40 or whatever, and they just didn't make nothing for themselves,
Right.
right? And now they're working construction or working a trade, um, and it's like, okay,
There's no
well,
shame in that, but
no shame in that
um
at all. But when you're out here rapping about whips and chains
right.
and Bugattis and fucking Ferraris and Lambos, but you're just a fucking construction worker. You live in the lower mainland. It's like, come on, let's get it together. Let's not fake it till we make it here, right?
Yeah.
That's my perspective on it. I don't ever claim to be someone who I'm not. people who know the backstory,
Right.
right? Like you're day one, but he first brought these guys back their career. So go down. Yeah, play that first one.
Which one?
First one, yeah. You know Chris Drip or whatever.
I know this song.
This is when that's Chris Herp or whatever. Chris Herpy Jerpy.
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Let me take a puff of this shit.
Chris
So I'm
Jerpy,
in this video too, right? But
Oh yeah.
I'm in a bunch of these videos, but so that's Trey in the middle. Van City hat. See that? So this is when he brought back Mad Child's career, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Mad Child right here. This guy's Hell's Angels, right? Okay, now fuck this shit. Go back.
He's not.
Well, he's
Connected with them.
Yeah, so go like exit this brother, and then go up to search again. So I just wanted to give you a little thing, right? So that's my hat, my shirt, my chain. Click that. That's the King of the V mixtape. Okay, that's DJ J Fresh. You ain't writing what you're living when you're rapping to the beats. I put my life on the line every time I rhyme. Nigga disrespect.
2010? Something like
This
that.
2007, bro. This is uploaded on YouTube. This is the re-up. This is like part 2, right? That's my hat. This is like, you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
like, this is my swag on Trey, right? Like,
That's funny.
you go up to search, bro. I could go on and search it. Like, I'm in all these videos, but this is what I wanted to get at, okay? So you asked me about the most epic. Sorry, go to search again one more time. You asked me what the most epic fucking studio session was. Is me play that one. This is mad. No, go to the beginning. This is so what. This is how. Why this is so epic is this is how long, Noah?
He's
Yeah,
wearing
so
a
that's
sock
Mad
on his dick.
Child
What
putting
the
a
fuck?
sock on his dick,
Yeah.
sending it to a fucking 13-year-old all high on oxy and coke trying to fuck the chick.
Oh
So the
my God.
beginning is him on a live stream, people messaging him being like, "Why don't you battle Trey Nice? Battle Trey Nice, right?" Like, because we wanted to just blow this fucking thing up. So he's like, "Why don't you go battle fucking Trey Nice?" So how long is this, Noah? Tell me the minutes.
4 minutes plus.
Through the whole 4 minutes, who produced this in the studio with DJ Chemo? Who's DJ Chemo? Rascals. Who's the Rascals? Rob the Vikings' right-hand man. We took all of their hit singles, Swollen Members. We took 30 seconds. This was me and Trey's idea, bro. I'm not even boosting. I'm not even making this shit up. 30-second clips of his whole fucking, of all his music, right? And Trey just fucking wrote back-to-back diss songs, and then the beats. Watch, play this one, Noah. Go down, play the lyrics. Look at the lyrics. The lyrics are written down in the captions. Vulture. Yo, we had Trey in a fucking closet with a mic. Look, next beat. Listen. You in love with the Coco? You fucking... Yo, fuck this shit. We showed up to fucking JJ Bean Yaletown with the fucking heater because Mad Child owed Trey 5 stacks. Me, Famous, were sitting in the car. This is real shit, bro. This is so fucked up, bro. Mad Child was about to, no one was going to do anything, right? Because he was just... But he was so fucked up, bro. Like, so high, sitting all scared like this. And then we pulled up like 5 deep. And we stopped. Trey goes off, talks to him and shit. I don't know what the conversation was, but then after shit he started dissing Trey. And then this is the same time when Snack the Ripper, shouts out to Snack the Ripper, started dissing him. Matt Brevner started dissing him.
Yeah.
So this was the most epic studio session. We went into, can't even disclose this information, man. We didn't even go to the studio. We went straight to DJ Chemo's house in East Van, bro. Okay? Red One lives right across the street from him, right? These guys got hit singles, Juno award-winning like rappers, right? Went into fucking DJ Chemo's place. He's got a studio in his house, undisclosed location. Put Trey in the fucking Trey. We sat there, wrote. while me and Kimo were just like, yo, this is the next bit. Now listen to every hit song. Fuck. Fuck over everybody like I do what I need to.
Silver tongue devil twisted, got your words tangled. Score money sweet, but you sit in rap mangled. Call me shook night, I leave a little ice dangled. Nobody gives a shit about your rap, just give it a rap flow. You know I'm the shit, you just a dirty asshole. You know what I did and how I helped the cash grow. Might just fuck your bitch like Red One from the Rascals.
Right here.
Fuck's trying to say I ain't lyrical, cause I don't rhyme words like miracle and miracle. Only talk is fantasy and living metaphysical. Devilish with demon talk, I read the holy spiritual. Picture ugly mud to get love from the juggalo. You was hella scared and together in a juggalo. You was mile high in the interview with Afro.
You know Afroto? This guy did a fucking interview on like Much Music. High as fuck, bro. Like,
oh my god.
gone.
Your goofy mind every time you got a rapping show. Soldiers in your circle, hook, you're letting them die. Really give a shit long as you get by. KOTD for 6 days, you ain't reply. Said you love yourself.
KOTD, King of the Dot. We tried to say, you know, King of the Dot? It's a big rapping fucking battle thing, right? In Toronto, where battle rappers will go off. Tried to get him to do it with Trey. He just wouldn't reply. He knows he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
The fucking lie. Back to the soldiers to pay. The back's down discovered in the mall with the bra and the veins. A young kid in California who came rotting his grave. Cause his mom's ain't got no money, so she asked for the same. Wrote a heartfelt letter, she was asking for shame. To ask every Bex member for $1 donate. Real talk.
Do you hear this story? A dying person, a fan of Mad Child, emails Mad Child, say, hey, I'm dying. I can't afford my chemo. Can you please get because he has a website called the Battle Axe Warriors, right?
Yeah.
He asked everybody to please donate. My fan is dying. They gave this guy like, I don't know, 20 G's or something. So I didn't even give them money. This guy went and smoked the fucking shit.
Oh,
this guy went and got coke and oxy and just didn't pay, but used that. So these are all real stories. If you read the lyrics, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
these are all real stories, like all facts.
Okay.
What did you record? Because the side of the microphone actually sounds really good.
You know, I don't even know, but Kimo is you know he's
Like,
you know he's worked with Akon and Cardinal Official. This was in the fucking house, but this was in a closet, bro. I don't know the equipment. It's old school.
It was in a
Closet, yeah. It's just like soundproof.
That's
closet,
crazy.
right?
It
Yeah.
actually sounds like a.
It sounds pro,
Yeah,
eh?
no, Kimo's
Yeah.
nuts, bro. Kimo's like,
Okay, we gotta chop the rest of this up.
Got shit and you ain't even reply. And it gets even worse when you research why. Cause you asked him for coke 2 weeks before he died. He was at the show, biggest fan, swear to God.
I asked him for coke. The kid came to the show, and he said, "You can you get any coke for me?" This is real
Oh
shit,
my
man. Because when he came
God.
to do the show at Babylon, this guy tried to fight the fucking owner of the club. Like I was like, "Yo, man, can we just like get along?" It's my first time doing a show. Like,
Oh my god.
but let's get into it. I just
Okay.
wanted to give you guys some little backstory about that.
That's
you know?
crazy. That's crazy.
You
Okay.
heard me, dirty.
Okay, let me fucking ask you this. What do you think what's the craziest show you guys ever put on?
The craziest show we've ever put on. We as a collective, can't really answer that, but me personally, I think I'd have to just take it back to the first show I ever did. And that was just like, you know, it was super low key. A reason why I say that is because I think I was the man behind everything, right? Getting flyers done, promoting, selling tickets, lining up management, you know, flying in the rappers,
It's a lot
setting
of
everything up.
responsibility, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck, I was like 17.
Wow.
I wasn't even old enough to be in the club. Like I remember there was a dispute later on that night, and you know, I kind of just pulled the card of like, if you want to go that route, well, you know, here's my real ID. Like you had an underage kid in the club. Like if you
Oh,
want to go that
shit.
route, like we can do that route all day, buddy. You know, like I was a slick young bull, but I think that was probably the most memorable for me. But I'll never forget the first time where like I was starstruck. You know, shouts out to Croatian Culture Center. I was on stage and, you know, I'm standing there throwing out CDs, right? And, you know, people tugging on my shirt, like trying to pull me into the crowd. And, you know, and then I look over to my left and I see someone just shining, like
Like a
diced
lighthouse,
out.
eh?
And I look over and I'm like, holy smokes, like, that's Chameleonaire, right? Like,
Oh, sick.
and it was just like, you know, super starstruck again. I was like 17 and I'm like, holy shit, like I'm on the same stage as Chameleonaire, right? Like, that was pretty memorable. But there's been a few. It just depends on the timing of everything, right? But
What other artists have you met, like big time, big names?
I've had the opportunity to kind of cross paths with one of my favorites was Killer Cam.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, Cameron was super nice. It was at Plush nightclub. That one was super G. Because we've been through a lot of these venues in Vancouver, and of course, having kind of the master key with DJ Chemo because he's super well respected in the city. We would just kind of go into the back rooms of everything, right?
Mm.
We just straight, they're like, yo, Killer's here. So we just went into the back door, opened the door, and he was just sitting there, bro, and like got to dap him up, like say what's up with him. Like obviously, he's gonna be super in his own like reach, right? Like he doesn't know who we are. Like five dudes walk in, he's not even from our city,
Right.
so he's gonna be a little hard headed too, which he was. Which I don't doubt it. Some of the shit that was said to him was pretty silly at the time from a couple of the people I was with,
Mm.
but that was really dope. Got to kind of cross paths with Killer Cam and like dap him up. Joel Santana in the early days.
Nice.
The game. Off the top, I can't really, there's a handful of people.
That's great, bro.
but,
That's
yeah.
cool. Those are cool, memorable times, man.
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, I mean, again, being like under 19 and being able to meet these people
Yeah.
was pretty dope. For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. I think meeting like big time rap artists or musicians, I think could be cooler than meeting actors personally.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
specific actors that are more like fucking rock stars would be super chill, but
yeah,
I think that they're more creative, they're more themselves.
they're
All these
different. They're definitely
actors,
different.
these actors are just playing somebody else. You think you
Yeah.
know them, you don't know them at
Yeah.
all, right?
I've had the chance to meet a couple actors. I mean, one of them was my favorite. I told you earlier, Benjamin Brad.
Right,
Doing,
right.
Doing extra work.
Was he
on the
chill
set
or
of
what?
Catwoman. I mean, yeah, he's just an overall chill person, right? He's
Right.
he's not like Tuco or somebody, right?
No,
But
but I like that when they are chill because I've heard some different stories, right, of other
I think
people.
Benjamin Brad was super humble because I mean, at the time of filming, we were super cold and it was like a circus scene, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember my mom was with me because she was my chaperone. I wasn't old enough to be on set alone,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Benjamin Bad saw my mom like kind of being cold and like hooked her up with these glove warmers and stuff, and like that just tells somebody's kind of demeanor and personality, like their characteristic. They see someone cold, they're an actor, like
Yeah,
to do that, right?
yeah, for sure.
Tim Allen was another person.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen on the
Tim the
set
Tool
of
Man?
Tim the Tool Man
No
on the set
way.
of Santa Claus.
I heard he had some crazy times when he was a young.
Yeah,
Young
but he
guy.
was super unprofessional. I to what I remember as a kid, I was young, but he did Santa Claus. I think it was Santa Claus 2 or Santa Claus 3 here. I don't remember, but he was just like was super unprofessional. Like I just remember he was like, oh, like can we hurry up and get this done? Like he was just super frustrated at the time, and
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you're Tim the Toolman Taylor. Like
I'm sure that when you're working in that industry and like some outfits are very professional and they like they're just the talent, but everything else keeps the clocks moving, keeps everything rolling, and the wheels
Yeah.
greased, right?
yeah,
And I bet you sometimes you work with crews that everything goes great, and then
Yes.
sometimes these crews have
Yeah.
their head up their ass, and it does probably frustrate people, right? Because
of
now
course.
you're cutting into overtime and crazy
Yeah.
stuff, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, where you should be at home, you're tired, but
Yeah.
these guys, they're running around like they don't got their stuff together, right? So
We're on this topic of name dropping. There's a long list, but one I will say a regret that I wish I had made the move in order to go. I had the opportunity to meet the Outlaws, Tupac's group,
oh wow.
and I missed out on that, and that's something that kind of hit hard for me.
For sure,
I
that's
was I wasn't able to get in. I had an invite, but I couldn't get in because the doorman was just an asshole, and
Yeah.
it was 19 plus, and I couldn't get in. Right, and
Yeah.
there was no back door. But even though like I was invited, it's like
Yeah, that
we can't
sucks.
get
I had
in.
to
Like, we
hurt,
got
eh?
invited because we know who you are, we know who you know, but like we can't have you in here, like
Right.
and I didn't even want to like go outside and wait like a groupie and be like, hey, like
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but fuck, that would have been really, really awesome to meet someone
Right.
who's attached to someone who I've idolized, like
For
who's
sure.
one of my like music guys, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a big one. You want to do some tattoo questions quick
Yeah,
before we
I mean,
finish up?
do
Because
you
we're probably
ever-
done pretty soon here, eh?
Yeah. Do you ever draw like writers? Not so rappers have a thing of called writer's block where can't write. You ever have like kind of an artistic block where let's say someone has a piece and they're like, I want it this way and this way, and they're so picky about it where you're like, yeah, I don't even know where to do this anymore. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it happens a lot when clients are trying to micromanage.
Okay.
So, like, I got ideas all day. Like, I can give you what I think is going to be the best
Right.
option for what you have or what we're trying to do.
Right.
But if you are very specifically trying to give me, all these guidelines
Yeah.
that I have to follow,
These rules and
you're
regulations.
all these rules and regulations, and so you're putting me in this box creatively where I can't think outside the box because I have to design within it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a tough one, man. Like, I hope that I hope that people just need to understand that the clients need to give more freedom to get the best result.
Of course.
Obviously, they've got to have what they want, but they've also got to give room to play.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I agree.
Yeah.
Well said. I wanted to also ask if what is the longest tattoo session that you have ever completed successfully?
Completed
Yeah.
successfully. It's hard to say, bro. I don't think it's one specific tattoo session. I think a lot of them have gone pretty long. It's usually not up to me. That's like something, the time is like, we're at a convention, we have to get it done, or sometimes it'll happen when I'm just so close that stopping now will just kind of be more of a hassle, like if they have to come back for an hour's worth of
Right.
work. So like I'm just beat and I'm done,
Yeah.
but I'm an hour away from the finish line, so I just like toughen up and
Right.
get it done, right? But because there's nothing like a fresh tattoo picture. When the tattoo's fresh,
Yeah.
it's the best photo
course,
op.
of
Like you
course.
get the best result for the profile. So you obviously want to get that whole thing done and click those pics and like
Of course. Yeah,
and,
no, I agree with you.
capture that moment. Like, I feel like when a client and I are designing a tattoo, it's not just like it's their tattoo. I think of it. I
As
think
our
of them
tattoo?
I think of them a little bit of my own
Of course,
as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because
There's a nice guy.
I don't own it and I don't wear it, but it's on my portfolio. If I like it enough to put it on my portfolio, it's still my tattoo, even though I don't wear it. Like, you know what I mean? So I put a lot of effort and
Time
and love into it, bro,
Of course, yeah.
because it's a piece of me that it's representing me as an artist, right? So I want every tattoo to turn out as best as it can. It's
Yeah.
not about the money for me.
No, I
You
don't
know
think
what
it
I
ever
mean?
has been for you. You've
No.
always done it out of love and out of creativity, right? You've
Yeah.
always been.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I like the money.
Money
and
is
I
the
need
motivator,
the
of
money. I
course.
need the money. We all
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
And in the beginning, it was more about the money because you're doing kind of these like soul crushing tattoos where it's just walk in after walk in. You don't really get much creative freedom. You're kind of just putting your head down and doing what they want, and they come and they go. It's a revolving door. But eventually, when you start to get that trust and you get to get creative with it, and you
Yeah.
get to do a little bit bigger stuff,
For sure. Yeah.
it's a whole different ballgame and you start to care about it more. Not so much about the money, but about the
Word.
art, right?
What is one of the biggest scams in tattooing? Or let me rephrase that. What is the biggest scam in the tattoo industry that you have seen that you think is just, hey, that's
I'll tell you this right now. Okay, this is funny actually because if
you've
I
been
were to
waiting for
do,
this question.
yeah, no, I've thought about this because I've actually tried to
You
tell
wanna
people.
reframe that? We can do that.
Yeah,
Maybe
reframe it.
next,
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, reframe it.
I think that's kind of it was sexy.
Yeah. Say, ask me that question
I
again,
forgot the
brother.
question.
What's the biggest scam?
In the industry, right? Okay. Reset brains, Blackburn. And 1, 2, 3. What's the biggest scam you've seen in the?
Don't even fucking
Don't
start.
start. You started, brother.
Uh,
You're so pretty.
It was Noah's fucking.
That was me.
Did it for me. Oh, that was you?
That was me, man.
Oh no, he did one
No.
too. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man. It's been a good time. I mean, I have one last question. It's kind of I'm super interested in, and I know you've been dying to answer. What's one industry scam that you have witnessed?
Yeah, I think that I've told a lot of clients this. It's that the size of the tattoo doesn't always reflect the price. So a lot of people will think that because they'll get the tattoo a bit smaller,
It's gonna be cheaper.
it's gonna be cheaper.
Understood.
That's just not
Yeah.
right. Like I could honestly do a tattoo that was, 3 inches big. I could do it 6 inches,
Yeah.
and it could maybe only be an extra $100. I could do it double the size because I have to do every single line
Yeah.
the same way. Just every single line's a tiny couple seconds longer. You know what I mean? Like the shading, everything's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same tattoo, but just bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Not
sometimes
by much.
not by much even.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could do a full bicep within a couple more hours
Right.
than because it's the exact same tattoo. It's just bigger.
Stretched
so
out.
it's just stretched
Yeah.
out. It's all the same things. So and sometimes it's honestly easier to work on the details in the tattoo because they're bigger. I have more room to actually get in there. When I'm doing those tiny little details,
Yeah.
sometimes it can take longer because it's a very finicky process trying to get the look you want in such a small space and have it look smooth and nice, right? So I think it's funny. I think a lot of people think that the size will reflect the price.
But
And
that's not the case, ladies
it's
and
not
gentlemen.
it's not usually the case, ladies and gentlemen. No.
No, for sure.
But especially in the form of like micro realism stuff, the small details, like there's so much stuff going on in these tattoos, and you could probably get a full sleeve for the price of like a half sleeve, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like there's
I never thought about it like that. I'll be honest. I mean, a size a little bigger. I think quality and detail is something big in tattoos, right? Because if you get something small, it's gonna kind of blur out over time, right?
yeah, like you can get detail still, right? Like when I say like the small tattoos, they have too much detail where every detail is very small. It's still from a distance you can't see it. Like I want to do tattoos that have detail, but
Right.
it's all big enough to see each detail.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a big black and
Detailer?
gray tattooer. So
Right.
I like large scale work. I don't like the small stuff. It honestly like it seems for me it's not
not
bang.
it.
It's not it, bro.
Yeah,
You don't
no, I
get
hear you,
the
bro.
bang for your buck.
Yeah, for sure.
You're spending more time to get a smaller tattoo. You're not gonna see that from across the room. You know what I mean? Like I think that people just need to grow up a little bit and get a real tattoo.
For sure.
To be honest with you, it's a huge trend for girls to be covered, bro. It's funny, like,
like it.
girls are covered in like these tiny like line work, little like roses or butterflies or stars or moons or whatever, and it's like you're kind of starting to look like the desk at a middle school,
Detention
like
desk.
a detention desk. You got scribbled all over, you know what I mean? Like I don't see the
It's a no go for Forte.
I don't see the artistry in
Yeah,
it.
no, I don't either. I agree.
It's starting to look like you got stickers all over you.
Mhm.
Like,
If you wanted to do that, you might as well just go to Mexico or something somewhere and just get a bunch of cheap tattoos. No disrespect to Mexico, but somewhere where they
Yeah.
got cheap tattoos for the
yo, you know what's crazy? Speaking of tattoos for a bargain, bro. Like a lot of people are going down to Bali,
Yeah,
and
that's
when I
old
was in
news.
Thailand, I saw like amazing artists for like a fraction of the price, and they're just really about it.
Yeah,
And like obviously their economy is just different over there. So
Yeah.
like the Canadian or American dollar just goes so much farther, but they're making a living out of it.
Of
But like
course.
they're not making a living like we are over here
No,
in the West, right?
no.
But they're amazing artists, and
Yes.
they're really about it. And everybody that is in the industry over
Right.
there actually takes it very seriously.
because it's a culture out
It's
there.
a culture,
It's not just a fad here.
and it's a tradition, and
Yeah.
they all are like really living it.
Yep.
And so like they bang out amazing pieces.
For
They're
sure,
all
yeah,
over the internet right now, and like people are traveling from all over the world to get over there and get a full sleeve for a great deal or whatever. Like obviously you're paying for the flight, but you're having the
course.
experience and you're doing the trip.
I think
I've been over there. I haven't wanted to do a tattoo on a trip like that because it kind of takes a lot out of you, and it's that kind of is the whole trip. But they're amazing artists, and like I honestly try to grab some inspiration from those artists over
Yeah.
there because they kind of have their own style, right?
that's definitely a place on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might be going back there actually, me and my girl. We're gonna try and get over there.
I'll meet you there. I'll probably be in Turkey halfway
Yeah,
through.
come hit up. Yeah, that'll be dope.
What up, world? I am your boy Apostolos, one half of Drippin' Ink, and this is my guy.
That's Forte Black and Gray. Forte.bng on Instagram is Drippin' Ink. Give us a follow, Drippin' Ink.
That's a wrap, ladies and gents. Bang.
Oh man, it's hard to act, eh?
No, that was good. You're just overthinking it. No.
At the
One more
end, I
time.
always fizzle out.